I want to begin by acknowledging the original owners on the lands in which we gather today, the Wurundjeri people, and pay my respects to ancestors, elders and all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. And can I thank them for their care of our beautiful land and waterways. Can I also acknowledge and thank Uncle Andrew for that beautiful welcome to country, and I'm not precious about you forgetting my name, so that's all cool. And of course to Uncle Culture and Jay for that beautiful performance. Thank you so much for that. To the amazing dancers, and it's great to see those little people involved and that sharing of culture. It's fantastic. So can I also acknowledge Jada Clark, Chair Treaty Authority, Thelma Austin, the member Treaty Authority, Diane White, member of the Treaty Authority, Reuben Berg, co-chair of First Peoples Assembly of Victoria, Nagara Murray, co-chair First Peoples Assembly of Victoria, Professor Annie Eleanor Burke, AM, Commissioner and Chairperson of Yurok Justice Commission, Travis Lovett, Commissioner of the Yurok Justice Commission, Adjunct Professor Sue Ann Hunter, Commissioner of the Yurok Justice Commission, Distinguished Professor Maggie Walter, Commissioner of the Yurok Justice Commission, the Honourable Anthony North, KC, Commissioner for the Yurok Justice Commission, Senator Lydia Thorpe, Independent Senator for Victoria, Auntie Jill Gallagher, the Honourable Gavin Jennings and the Honourable Richard Wynne, Damien Bell, First Peoples Assembly CO, Sheena Watt from the Northern Metropolitan Region, and other parliamentary colleagues and all VIPs and everyone else here today. I could have gone on and on and on, but I thought I'll just continue on now with the speech. And of course, Natalie Hutchins, the Minister for First Peoples and Treaty, unfortunately couldn't be here today, although it's fortunate for me because I get to be here today. So thank you all for having me. I do want to acknowledge and thank the Treaty Authority members for the invitation to be part of this ceremony event, marking the historic launch of the Treaty Authority and with the formal commencement of treaty processes in Victoria. I know that as the Treaty Authority's inaugural members, you have worked incredibly hard to establish this new process for all Victorians. I commend your leadership and wish you all the very best as you guide us into this next phase of the Victoria's nation-leading journey to treaty. Victoria's commitment to treaty is not a new one. Since the passing of Australia's first ever treaty legislation in 2018, the Treaty Act, Victoria has adopted a steady, long-term approach to treaty, spanning 8 years and seeing the establishment of the nation-built leading institutions such as the Treaty Authority. The Treaty Authority is a historically significant institution, a First Peoples-led independent body that will oversee treaty making in Victoria, facilitating negotiations and upholding obligations between First Peoples and the state. Led by members, the Treaty Authority is grounded in the Aboriginal law and cultural authority expertise that will guide treaty making and advance equal footing between First Peoples and the state as we move towards a treaty era characterised by self-determination and empowerment, fairness and equality, partnership and good faith, mutual benefit and sustainability, and transparency and accountability. These are the guiding principles for parties to the treaty process, but also describe the type of ongoing relationship between the state and First Peoples that we aim to realise through treaty. Treaty is our opportunity to come to grips with the history we share. We can't build a better future without knowing the truth about our past. The establishment of the Yurok Justice Commission is a leading national model for truth-telling, hearing and responding to the often uncomfortable and painful truth of our history. I want to commend all who have participated in the Commission's hearings, especially First Peoples across Victoria, who have generously shared their stories in this groundbreaking process. The findings from which we will inform the treaty negotiation process. Victoria's treaty process is about giving the First Peoples of Victoria a say over what matters that affect them. We know that self-determination is key to closing the gap and improving health, education, jobs and economic development outcomes. We all have a stake in treaty. We value the 65,000 years of living First Peoples culture, the strong connection to country and to each other. The state of Victoria is enthusiastic about coming to the negotiating table with First Peoples because we know that when First Peoples thrive, all of Victoria thrives. We are leading the nation on this journey. The outcome will be something we can all be proud of. It is through treaty that a pathway to a better future for First Peoples and non-Aboriginal Victorians can be truly realised. Today is a day of great significance for all Victorians. Today, and in knowing I was preparing for this, I reflected on this 8 years of journey to treaty, where it started and where it is, where we are today. As a member of the Allen government, I'm immensely proud to be part of the Victorian government's commitment to First Peoples. To all of you here today and those First Peoples to come, thank you.